Hello friends, in the previous video you have seen how a dummy data set can be created. Now let me explain how to create a quick report using this data. In this video I'm going to explain how to create this report. So I request watch complete video, and after watching the video please share your comments, feedback, questions so that I can answer them. Let me jump into Power BI, and I need to get into Power Query Editor. For that, Home tab, under that Queries group, Transform Data, and then select Transform Data. This will take me to Power Query Editor. In Power Query Editor, under Home tab, in New Query group, select New Source and select Excel because we are dealing with Excel. And I need to select the relevant example file, and if I press Open, the navigator dialog appears. There all the elements of the file selected are appearing. There are 4 tables. By the icon you can recognize the blue icon, blue headed icon is a table, and there are sheet icons. There are 2. That means in our spreadsheet, or in our workbook rather, there are 2 sheets and 4 tables. What happens if I select sheet? When I select sheet 1, you can see it is reading entire information, all the tables together. And along with that, it is reading some additional information because the scope of the sheet is all used cells. Also, between 2 used cells, any blank cell will be read as null. So I don't want to select sheet 1. I want to select the table CV source, which is reading only the required information, and then positions, and then recruiter, and finally the fact table RD. If you look at the quality of the data, this is fine, but few places it is showing null. Should I do anything with this? No, because first round date is only given to those candidates who are selected for the first round. So wherever the candidate is not selected, we have not given any date to that candidate in that column. So that is the reason it was blank in our Excel spreadsheet. That is why it is showing as null. Let us keep it as it is. When I transfer or load this data into the data model, this will be showing as null there, or rather blank there. So no harm. So I'm just keeping it and I'm pressing OK, which will load the data to the Power Query Editor. I need to check the column quality and the data type issue. So if I look at each column, so the data types are more or less good. There is no issue. Wherever text it is ABC, wherever number it is 1, 2, 3. Otherwise it is showing date. So everything is fine. Only thing is the column quality. Let me go to View tab and select column quality so that I can see the quality. So in few cases it is showing that the quality there are empties. I'm not doing anything with this empty cells. I'm not replacing them because I want them to be null and should be blank. Otherwise the data quality is good. So we need not do much transformation for this data. So I can close and apply and load this to the data model. So Home tab, close and apply. This will be loaded to the Power BI report view where I can use this data. I need a date dimension table to control the date columns in this data set. To create the date table, I need to go to Modeling tab, under that Calculations group, and in that select New Table. Then the name of the table is dates, and I'm creating a variable BT where I'm using calendar auto. I'm not going to use any fiscal calendar fiscal year and month because I'm following the Georgian calendar, which is January to December. And then I need to use return syntax and then add columns BT. Based on that, I need month and year. So that is basically with a formula format and date in the format of month, ampersand, year and date. And then I need a column to sort this column, month and year column. For that, year and month. So for that year, the date, which has to be multiplied by 1000 plus month number. This gives me the column which can be which can sort the text column month and year. After that, I require month. Let me see if it is really required, comma, format, date. Date column is already there, so we need not worry about it. And then this will create a date table. To complete the data modeling, I need to jump into modeling view or relationship view. There, other tables like CV source, recruiter, and positions are connected because we have created separate tables and we have given the primary key and used in the recruitment data as a foreign key. So this is fine, but we need to connect the CV date to the date. But we have many other dates, like you have first screening date, first round date, and so on. So let me select screen date and connect it. But that connection will not be active. You can see the line is perforated. That means if I double click on that particular connection, and if you see that connection is not active, because you cannot have multiple connections having an active relationship. So let it be like this, but we are using these inactive connections and virtually activating them using use relationship function while creating the measures. So screen date is done. Then I need to go to first round date, then second round date, and finally third round date, which is basically hiring date. So all other connections are inactive. Only the CV date to the date is active connection. Now the data modeling is complete. Now I need to get into report modeling, that is creating required measures. Report view. Then I need to create a measure table. For that, home tab, enter data. In this, the name of the table is basic measures, because I believe keeping the measures in a separate table always, so that it is a proper management of the data, so that all the measures will be sitting in a single place. The first measure will be total CVs received. For that, select basic measures, more options, new measure. Name of the measure is total CVs equal count candidate name, or you can use count rows table name. So both are same. Then I need to hide this column 1 and then collapse expand the fields pane to see the basic measure I can separate. It helps to understand where the measures are kept. The next measure will be total screen CVs, where the status is accepted. Date of CV and date of screening, both are same. So I'm using a regular function, just use calculate function. So in the basic measures, new measure, screened CVs equal calculate total CVs, where the status, that is screen status, is accepted. That gives me the number of accepted or screened CVs. From the next measure, it is going to be a little tricky. To understand that, let me have a slicer first. So a slicer, and in the slicer I am adding from the date table month and year, and by default it is actually sorted by on its own, that means alphabetically. So April, August. So it is not in a proper order. For that, let me select month and year and then go to sort by column in the column tools group, column tools tab, sort group, and then select year and month. Now you can see it in a proper order like January, February, etc. Let me select a specific month like March 2019. Now I'm going to create a measure the way I have created measure for screen CVs, where calculate total CVs and first round status equal to accepted. Measure name will be first round equal calculate total CVs and first round status equal accepted. And let me add this measure into a card visual. So first round, there are 19 CVs are selected for first round. That means out of total CVs received in the month of March, 19 only selected for first round. Here the perspective is CV date. So CV received in the month of March, selected for first round only 19. If I keep this in a table visual, the picture will be much more clear. For that, let me select a table visual, and then if I add date from the date table, and then CV date from the data, and then if I add first round, it is very clear. I've added twice. It is very clear that the date and CV date are similar. That means the primary relationship is very intact. And then out of total CVs received on 2nd March, only 2 are selected for first round. If I wanted to see all CVs shortlisted for first round in the month of March without looking at the CV date, because here CV date is only March, but I want to see those CVs which are received in January, February and March, which are shortlisted for first round in the month of March. So the perspective is first round date. Then the measure will be different. There I need to tell Power BI, please create a virtual relationship between the date table date and the first round date using that inactive relationship. It is going to be a nested formula. So I need to add a new measure. The measure name will be first round A. And then the measure will be calculate total CVs, use relationship, and please establish the relationship between first round date and date table date. But this is not enough. It is only giving you the total CVs which are captioned as accepted also, rejected also. So we need to filter out only those resumes or CVs accepted for first round. Then the function will be calculate of this function, and then where the status, the first round status equal accepted. Let me add this measure to a card to see the number. So card and then add the measure first round A. The number is different. And if I add this information to a table visual, so there let me add a table and then let me add the CV date to have a comparison, and then date table. Let me make it as a normal date, and then first round date, and then first round A. Now if you see, the first round date and date table date are similar because you have established the connection using use relationship, and then these many CVs are shortlisted in the month of March based on the first round date, and the selection is actually now pointing to the first round date, and the CVs are pertaining to different dates. So the two different perspectives can be seen with two different measures. To get the total CVs selected at second round and third round, I'm going to use the same function, use relationship. So the new measure will be second round equal calculate, and again calculate total CVs, and I need to use relationship, and then second round date to be considered and to be looked up at date table date, and then where the status, second round status equal accepted. So this gives me the number of CVs selected for second round. Same way, third round. Third round is the final round where I have two options, hired and pending. So new measure, I can write it as hired and then calculate and again calculate total CVs. This time I need to consider the use relationship with third round, date, comma, date, date, and then status, third round status equal hired. Next is pending. So I need to just copy this measure as it is. New measure. This will be pending in buffer so that if any hired employee is not joined, then I can use them, I can call them. So that way my all measures are ready. First, let me have basic visualization. For that, I need to remove all the visualizations here and then need to add few slicers. So this slicer will have recruiter name. Let me make it as a drop down and then make it small. Then I need to change the background color, etc. So let me go to the border on. So border is maybe a blue color and then radius approximately 16. Same way I'll add background, same blue color, and then the slicer will be like this. So I need to add the color, the text color. For that I need to go to items and items font color is white. Also slicer header should be white. Now I can add remaining slicer. So let me copy this, paste it below, and then here I'll be adding the positions. So let me go to the visualization field. So remove the recruiter name and then one more slicer, that is CV source. So slicers are ready. I need to just align them. So let me select all three, format and align, and then distribute vertically and align center so that they are aligned properly. Need to add a date slicer. For that, another slicer, they're adding date from the date table. Go to properties and then general, say responsive off, so that you will get this kind of slider. Since you know this is date, I don't want the slicer header so that it will take less space. Then I can take any specific date. For example, if I wanted to start with 1st of February 2019, so let me say 1st of March and then 2019 and then 31. So I think I need to select first and then it has to be 31st March 2019. So for 1 month I would like to see the position. So now this slicer is actually showing me the respective dates. Now I can add few card visuals and place all the measures on them. So I need to unselect first and then select a card visual, keep on the top. They're adding total CVs. So between 1st of March to 31st March, there are 50 CVs received. Need to change the properties of the card. First, data label size to 30 and then category label is fine. Let me make it a bit small and then I need to give some border to it. So for that I need to go to border on. Border color is slight grayish. Radius approximately 13, shadow on. and then background color same color, so that there is no variation between border and the background color. I think I have not selected the right color, so I need to select this color so that both are same. Now I need to copy this and paste. Then I need to select screened CVs. Then select first round. I've used use relationship option, the function in first round A, so I'm using that. Next, second round. And finally, hired and pending. So hired, finally pending. So there is no pending. So now pending is coming blank. Instead, if I get 0, that would be good. So I'll go to the measure pending, and after all the measure entire formula, I'm just put +0, and if I press enter, that measure will be shown in the card as 0. So that will be a kind of representation. Sometimes if you don't like to have blanks, then you can use 0 in the formula. Then I need to align them. So align vertically and align center. Align center. I think now they are sitting in a proper place. If you think the card visuals are taking up more space, you can use another visual, that is multi-card. So let me add a multi-card and keep in the below of the slicers, and then I can add the required measures, that is total CVs, screened CVs, first round, and then second round, hired, and finally pending. To show the values differently, I can just go to the properties and select data labels. Data label font, different bold font, and then category label, maybe with a different color if we want. Otherwise, black is fine, but the font like Arial Unicode MS, and then I think that is good. So that way you can show in a single visual. So this also will give you a complete picture. So I think I'm good with it. I want to use the multi-card. I'm giving a shadow to it, and then maybe I'll just add border, and then border I'll add slight grayish and increase the radius. So this is fine for me, and I'm removing all the cards. Now I would like to have a process funnel. For that I need to create a dummy table. So home tab, data group, enter data. In the create table dialog, I need to give the table name as process funnel, and then column 1 is type, then received, screened, first round, second round, and then hired. So I want to have an index so that I can sort this entire process funnel when I create any table. So for that I can just create the index. Press load to have this table. If I wanted to understand in a particular period of time how many CVs received, out of that how many were screened, and then how many were selected for first round, second round, and finally hired based on the CV date. So to fill this entire information into a process funnel, I need to create a new measure, that is funnel. So new measure, Name of the measure is funnel. For that, adding a table visual, and in the table let me add first the type from the process funnel. So type, currently it is not sorted properly. The real sort should start with received, then screened, then first round, second round, hired. For that I need to select the process funnel column, type column, then from the column tool select sort by column index. Now you can see the proper sort. Then change the text size, go to grade and select the text size to 13, and then add funnel to the visual. So funnel measure to the visual. The table visual is presenting the data of total profiles received during the month of March based on the slicer selection and fate of those CVs. That means in the month of March, total 50 resumes or profiles received. Out of that, 26 were filtered and screened, and then out of that 19 were filtered for first round, then 8 were for second round, and finally 3 people hired. Out of 50, 3 people are hired. So this 3, 8, 19 are all pertaining to only month of March. So based on CV date. Instead of showing this data in a table visual, if I use a funnel chart, the presentation will be nice. So let me select the funnel chart, and then it shows very clearly out of 50, 3 were selected, and out of 100%, 6% were selected. Now I need to format this chart. So let me go to formatting option, shadow, and then if I go to the border is white, and then the border radius is approximately 13 or 14, so that it will be nice. Now I need to add a chart showing number of CVs received by source, CV source, and by post. So let me select stacked bar chart and add it here. There I need to add in the axis CV source, and in the legend by position, and value total CV receipt. I can add some data labels. And then let me add a shadow and then border. So that way we can show the number of profiles received by CV source and for each post. So let me remove the x-axis as well, because that much information is enough. Now let us focus on few important recruitment metrics or KPIs. For example, total qualified candidates percentage against the total CVs received. This is one of the very important recruitment KPI or metric. To create that, new measure, qualified equal divide screened CVs comma total CVs comma 0. This percentage will give us an indication which source, the CV source, is good for us, which has actually given more yield. To understand that, we need to add a card visual. There if I place this value, that is qualified, and I need to convert into a proper percentage format. So percentage and single decimal. So I think no decimals is also fine. That means overall 52% out of total CVs received in the month of March, 26 were qualified. But if I look at each CV source, for example, if I go to referral, very low percentage. So whatever CVs are coming from referrals are not very qualified. Also, if I go to say recruiter name, for example, Vijay, 40%, and then I can look at each and every recruiter and accordingly see how he is gathering the CVs and how he is describing the job description to the people, where from he is getting the CV. Also, if you look at by position, you can see the quality of so admin assistant 100%. That means that the kind of CVs I am getting is very good for admin assistant. So that way we can actually understand how CVs are coming from each CV source. To display this KPI, I am going to use another custom visual. For that, go to more options and then get more visuals. There I am using the chart type PayPal chart. So I need to search PayPal, and then if I search, so I'll get the circle KPI gauge, and then I can use this for this particular KPI. So let me select the card visual and select this KPI so that it shows the information like this. So I can keep this somewhere here. So I may require a little more space, but it is fine. Let me format it. Go to circle properties, and then font size I can increase to say 40 so that the number will be visible. I think it is responsive so that it is not appearing better. Let me change the chart size here and then keep it here. So again, same thing, go to border color is white, and then border radius is approximately 13, then shadow on, so that same way I need to create remaining stage by stage. So from the screen to first round to second round to hide, we need to create the measures. The new measure is screened to first round equal divide first round. This first round is created keeping in the CV date in view. So comma screened CVs comma 0. So this gives me the percentage of CVs selected for first round from screened CVs. So let me copy paste and then add a new visual. There I need to place this measure screened to first round. So out of whatever total CVs screened, 87.5% were selected for first round. Quite interesting. Now I need to create a measure for first round to second round. So first round is the measure is there keeping in the CV date in view, but second round measure is not there. So I need to create a variable. So new measure first round to second round. So equal calculate. So I need to use divide first, then I need to evaluate first the second round CVs with respect to the CV date, total CVs where second round status equal accepted. So that is my numerator, comma, the denominator is first round, comma 0. So this gives me the percentage change from first round to second round. So I need to add this one more time. Paste it here. In this I am adding this first round to second round. So that means out of whatever first round CVs or profiles, 43% were selected for second round. Now final second round to third round, that means the second round to hired. Again here I need to create few variables. So first the name of the measure is second round to hired equal variable second round equal calculate total CVs comma status. Second round status equal accepted. Since I have not created outside, I am creating as a variable. This is second round, and then variable hired equal calculate total CVs, where the third round status equal hired. In return, divide hired comma hired will be the variable hired comma second round comma 0. So this gives me from second round how many hired. So let me add another visual, and then second to hired. So that means whatever CVs selected for first second round, out of that 67% were selected. So that means what? 3 second round, 2 were selected. So that is what it is showing. I would like to add another visual where I want to show total number of CVs received by individual recruiter and total candidates selected by each individual recruiter at the final round, that is hired plus pending. And then what is the percentage of realization? For that I have created two measures. One, total selected. Total selected hired plus pending, because pending is as good as hired. And then hired percentage, that is divide total selected comma total CVs, so that I'll be getting the percentage of total selected against the total CVs. Now I need to add the visual. Since I am dealing with two different units, that is numbers and percentages, I cannot place both the numbers in the same axis. For that I need to use a combination chart, that is line and clustered column chart. First, to show the information bit better, I have increased the date range from only March to little more. And then in the chart I wanted to add in the share axis, that is recruiter name, because I want to show the information by each individual recruiter. In the column values I am adding total CVs, also total selected, and then in the line values I am adding hired percentage. So I need to take care of the formatting, but I want to borrow this formatting from different charts. So I'm selecting this chart, go to Home tab, select Format Painter, and if you select the current chart, the format will be taken care of. So this chart is now talking about the recruitment realization. Sam, 159 CVs received during the period selected. Out of the 13 CVs were selected and 8.2% was the realization. Likewise, for other candidates, the information is there. After adding so many charts to the report, now I would like to add some explanation. I think from November 2020 update, Power BI added another visual type, that is smart narrative, which will give you the explanation about your entire report. For that, first unselect all the charts and then select smart narrative visual from the visual types, and then let us wait what kind of explanation it is giving. So you can add the format from the chart, select the chart and select format painter, and then let me align it. So it is telling about Sam accounted for 26.15% of total CVs. So at 159, Sam had the highest total CVs and was 8.16. Of course, it is talking about the chart and it will give more information. I've created another video where I've explained how smart narrative works. Please watch that. And then this is all about the HR recruitment analysis. Now I need to make this entire report little aligned and I want to add some titles to it. This is the final outcome from the data, the dummy data which I have created. I hope you have liked this video, and if you have any questions, feedback or comments, please mention them in the comment section. If you are visiting first time to my channel, please make sure that you have subscribed to my channel and keep watching. Thank you very much.